Hi, this is GK. Today I would like to talk about timecode and my frustrations, solutions, and why it should be done years ago but wasn't done. So timecode was introduced in the late 60s, I believe. Till this day, it's great solution to have your audio, video, or multiple cameras sync to the frame. So then in post you can just make few clicks and all your clips are adjusted to the time. Now, my frustration with timecode is that it wasn't modernized enough for today's creators. I think we have multiple issues with timecode nowadays. First of all, it requires external generators and their pricing starts on around 150-200 euro mark for the recommended ones. Now, why, if we pay 2,000, sometimes 4,000 euros, we have to use external generators? Like, make it make sense. Shouldn't this camera already be able to make use of timecode with multiple devices? So our cameras have connectivity via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or even USB-C, and they can talk to smartphone, they can talk to computer, but why they talk to each other? Like, this is the solution we should go for. Let's say I have two cameras. One is, let's say, video camera, other is like camera photos, but can also do video, right? And right now, to sync them up, I would have to take timecode generator, put it on one. If I have a cable, for example, for Sony, right? It's like 120, 150 euro. On top of that, you need generator for another 250. Well, it's only for one generator. Sometimes you need multiple. Okay. Let's say I went through all that. I sync them up, goes. Now I change the frame rate on my video. What do? Well, I have to change it on my generators so it would stay in sync with the second camera. But if they could talk to each other, simply the change of frame rate would be pushed to the other ones. Like, do you see that? That it needs modernization pretty badly, and it should be done like 10, 20 years ago. Boggles my mind. But for years I've been tech guy, like now I'm getting to this camera world, and what do I see? Great hardware, ancient software, like pretty bad. Camera companies produce great hardware. I think they lack in software pretty badly, and I think the easiest example to show that is our mobile apps for our cameras. Whichever you'll touch, pretty horrible, most of them. Now, what I would expect from timecode in 2023. First of all, more bits sync to a date, not only time. So right now, timecode goes in 24 marks. So it starts with 0, ends up 24, regenerates, starts from 0 again. What we have to do is add more bits to it so it could store also the date. So let's say it's 2023/11/ today is the 17, so /17, and then you go time, which is hour, minutes, seconds, frames, right? So we have all this metadata. Now, what I would love to have is that those cameras could talk to each other and sync between each other without having to use external generators, which is pretty costly, right? For 250, you can have great memory for your camera, and you have to pay for these external generators because, well, nobody thought about it, or I don't know, but it should be done years ago. Now, that's the first solution that I see. It's better connectivity and being able to sync this crucial information. Right now, you can try have two cameras and push the timecode button at the same time and let it run from the same time, but it's not always possible. There is no time to grabbing two cameras, getting people with each other and clicking. That's why they use those external generators. But what's the downside? If you change your frame rate, on one camera, on other one, it could be out of sync, and this connectivity would solve it. My second idea would be, if you want precise timecode, because cameras, internal clocks can drift, but if they talk to each other, they're both drifting because one is the master and it gives timecode to the second one, right? But you could use smartphone, which I believe they have pretty precise clocks and they can take it from atomic clock, so it's pretty on time. That's my second solution. But my ultimate, I think, dream, because based on how camera software is evolving and some new things are introduced, that's a dream. So my dream is all camera companies create timecode server and timecode satellite. What do I mean by that? The camera satellite and camera timecode server would have timecode generated with date bit and time bit for every possible frame rate that they produce. Let's get Fuji, Panasonic, Sony, Canon, get everybody, Arri, Red, and they be like, we have those frame rates. We have those, we have those, we have those. Now, what we should do is to have this information available. So this timecode is generated indefinitely based on the date and frames, and it knows when it is for certain frame rate. Now, how do we use it? So easy. First of all, we can use our smartphone or even put Wi-Fi connection on our camera, or put some small GPS module, low energy, has to ping it like one every hour, 2 or 3, depends. What do you choose? Now, how does it solve the problem? Well, first of all, your timecode should be always in sync, even on multiple devices, and they have the same source that's somewhere in the cloud, not in 250 euro box in your hand, and you might need multiple. So from 250, make it 1,000 euros easy, right? For 1,000 euros, a good lens could be bought, or some memory. Now, the added benefit is that such a solution can help with some files or some other shots that they don't have any timecode, or some other, let's say, audio recorder wasn't synced up to the timecode. Now, let's say all those files get to our editor, we open the app, and cameras sync beautifully because they have the same timecode, everything goes smooth. And now you have this audio waveforms, and what do you do? So, our video editor just fetches information for the desired date and this time zone for the generator, and it tries to adjust it by file creation date. So let's say you had a shot on 1st of December, you started at 3 p.m. and your audio recorders started rolling at 3 or 5, something like that. So thanks to timecode in our camera that would be available, and also global timecode, it can try to find it on the timeline and make it easier. So then you have few frames here and there to adjust instead of trying to find it manually. And every frame rate change is also in the metadata. And I think that's how it should be 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Today is embarrassing that it works like that. So that's my 2 cents on timecode. Let me know what you think. And when do you think it's gonna happen? 2050? Something like that, right? Maybe even further, 2070. I just hope this timecode would be solved and it'd be better for us. And it's cheaper. Let me know what you think.